Railroad Ink Collector's Edition is finally here. There are so many dice, new expansions, boards in this. I'm so excited to open this, Lachlan.
I'm excited for you, to be honest. Like, I liked Railroad Ink. Railroad Ink's a sick game, and when you were like, I got the Kickstarter version, I was like, I'm on board. I'm on board. I'm Lachlan, this is Billy, and we're Nerds of the West, and Billy's gonna open his Railroad Ink Collector's Edition Kickstarter thing. What is it?
Hell yeah. Okay, so this is a collector's edition of Railroad Ink. Every copy of Railroad Ink that currently exists can fit in this, along with every new expansion that they released. It's got everything in here except for the 2 games that I own that are at home.
Wait, so it has everything except for 2 things?
It has everything except for the games that already exist.
Okay. So there's new games in there,
yes.
But you have to take your old games, you have to put those old games in here.
Unless I'm crazy enough that I bought the new games again, we'll find out what I bought.
I will love so hard if you have like the first 2 versions of the game.
We'll find out.
Hey, more Railroad, there's nothing wrong with that.
This is true.
Oh, mate. Is your box creased? Or is it meant to be like that?
Look, we're going with it's meant to be like that.
It's so not meant to be like that.
What are you talking about? Shipping companies treat everything with the utmost care. I figured it out. We got there. It came in a really large box, and I was like, oh, it's a really big collector's edition box. And then about 80% of that box was brown paper.
Yeah. No, I think it's actually a crease, like a fold thing.
I believe it is intentional. There is magnetic strips going on here.
It's very nice. It's like...
Yeah, it's really cool.
Kind of reminds me of like Wingspan, in all honesty. Also, why is there a tentacle on it? It's about railways and...
Look,
I've played the base game, and I don't know anything about tentacles in my way.
That is the Horrible Guild logo, for reference.
I don't know what that means.
They're the people that made this game.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry. Please forgive me.
This is not actually the front of the box. This is the front of the box.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh. All
that
right.
is sexy. Look, you got an extra 2 No, you didn't.
Don't worry, guys. I didn't buy the games again.
That's awesome.
Okay, so the original Kickstarter that this came out with was these 2 copies of the game.
That's pretty cool. So, like, you could get the Kickstarter and just get these 2?
Yeah, so the original Kickstarter was Railroad Ink Challenge, and it came with those 2. And then it came with a bunch of all the other expansions.
Oh my god.
So that is all the extra Kickstarter and expansions, and this was filler for my other 2 games.
Did they have the option for it to have, like, all 4 things?
Okay. Yeah, in the Kickstarter you could buy them, and I couldn't remember what I bought. Kickstarter came out, I was like, collector's edition, get everything I can.
Nice. That's pretty cool. So this is a storage box, apparently.
Let's chuck this big box.
Can I feel that? I'm not done with it. I'm not done with it.
It's a pretty cool box. It's got magnetic strip, closes nicely.
Yeah, that is pretty neat. I must say, that is pretty neato. It's always nice when you got like clasps or like magnetic bits on boxes. Yeah. Although it does make this look a little bit sus. Like I think they didn't plan that one out too well. Like I think this it's a little bit big.
When I was looking at it, because that's the top side that you see when you open the box, and I just opened it and saw this giant line on it, and I'm like,
Oh, it's not too bad, but I know that it's gonna annoy some people. But hey, that is a nice box regardless.
All right.
Chuck that up there. Get him out of there.
We have opened Shining Yellow Edition first. So our other copy will be Lush Green, and then we'll get into all the different expansions that we have. So, more magnetic strips, maybe? Another magnetic strip.
Does the other ones have that? I can't remember. It's been a while since
Off memory, I can't remember. I feel like they don't. So these are more player boards.
Nice.
Rule book, which I am totally going to read one day. And
look. There's a little place card for all the other games I can get from these guys.
I've got so many of these markers now. It is going to be insane.
Oh, guys. You get Railroad Ink coming to mobile this summer. Hell yeah.
They're releasing a full app edition, which I believe will have all of their expansions in there too.
That's pretty cool. Because it's a whiteboard game, that's like perfect for tablet and also like...
Yeah, it's what you already do.
I dig it.
The new boards. It's pretty rad. I'm glad these don't come with like 100 boards like the red edition I have. I struggle to close the box of that edition every time.
So what's the difference between these ones and the red ones? Because I can't...
So...
Like, I feel like the other one had the flappy bits, didn't it?
Yeah, so I believe it's almost the exact same board. It looks like it just has these sections for the special dice that this edition brings in. So there are some farming looking things going on with this. So I think one thing you never got to experience in Railroad Inc. was playing with their expansion dice. So we just did railroads and normal roads.
Yeah.
There is like lava in the red edition where you actually end up writing in volcanoes. I believe blue edition is just oceans. These ones here start to get really, really excessive with the extra things that we have done.
So that's probably like an oasis, I think. Like it's a pool,
Possibly,
a pool of water.
So it looks like this
There's
is
a sun.
desert areas. So yeah,
There's a little, there's a side which, oh man, I've never seen that before. That's pretty cool. But it's
Cactus?
like, it's a
Yeah.
cacti.
So it looks like we must build deserts and stuff.
Yeah.
So they give you all sorts of extra bonus scoring. So you start to stray away from just railroads and roads. I tried playing the lava one, but it starts to get a bit more complicated when you do that. You really have to have played the game a few times.
Yeah.
So let's stack up those dice over here. I want to see how many dice this game ends up giving us.
I'm really curious as like what's in this box because like that looks very much like what was in the original games.
100%. I'm
What are they?
kind of excited for you to find out what is in there.
Like there weren't cards in the other one.
This is another thing that the expansions add. So there are like goal cards. You kind of get like a 3x3 section, I believe the goals do, where they have something they want you to put out there. So they're like extra achievements, extra ways to score in the game.
Oh, this is cool. So this one has like a pathway.
Okay, yeah, they're the ones I've seen. So they want you to achieve certain things like that, like build a path the way they have said, and you get extra scores. Oh man.
Cards feel good though. They're nice and glossy.
Yeah.
And they're like quite thick as well, which is nice. I don't know if there's any games comparable to these. They are nice.
All right. So,
Oh no.
Lush Green Edition.
It's this side. I'm worried I'm just gonna blow the side open.
Yeah, that's what was happening to me when I first opened it. I'm like, it's also like,
Well,
for a box, strong magnet.
Yeah.
I was like, am I about to rip it?
Just rip it. Rulebook, pretty standard, same as the other ones. I don't know if there's anything else like to say about the rulebooks.
Yeah.
Very similar to the previous versions. I mean, it feels identical. They nailed what they had before, so I don't know why they would change. And I guess it's more in line with what they had as well. Until they bring out like a full board size railroad.
This one is the opposite. We're not making deserts. We're making lush, green forests, parks. By the look of it, a jungle with a railroad going through it.
The blue one is the base game.
So originally, it came out with your red and blue edition. So you have lava and ocean editions. So this one, they've gone deserts, lush green.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, and then they have their expansion dice, which are loosely themed around forests.
Nice. And can you use like all of them together?
Yeah, so that's the great part of it. So you can just mix and mash all of the additions of this game, any of the expansions, whatever you want, and just smash the game together. And I've seen a few of the expansion dice. You can create some cool things going on.
Some cool combos.
There are some cool combos happening.
Mate, you now have more pens than you can poke a stick at.
I was going to say, more dry erase markers.
Dude, do the originals have like trains on them? Like locomotives? You got little locomotives in like the
I don't actually think the original ones do.
I can't recall.
That is cool.
That is cool. There's like little locomotive and cart.
So it looks like we got some bushes, trees, all that good stuff. We are already up to eight custom dice.
Because each dice is different, right?
Yes, yeah.
Or the
they
two
should
lighter
all
color
be
ones.
different.
The two lighter color ones the same. No, they'd have to be different because you need different.
Yeah.
You need different like
So by the
train
looks of it,
combinations.
that has features, and then this has your squiggly lines.
Yeah.
So they have different things on them, but different faces as well. So one of my favorite things they do with their game boards on this as well is up the very top, you have every single face of all of the dies that they can be.
Oh, yes.
It's pretty rad. It's pretty rad to know the combos, especially when you're like, can I do what I want to do? More goal cards. Pretty rad. I really like the idea of them choosing like a center area and what they want you to do and getting bonus points based off of that.
Because again, like the original games don't have goal cards, do they?
Yeah, so like cards like this as well. So you obviously need to get 4 trees in a line like that and you get bonus points. Because before, after playing the game a lot, you got real good at knowing how to collect all your sides, and it just became a game of how do I put as many roads everywhere?
Isn't that the aim of the game?
Yes, but all the expansions take that away, so you have to actually build things around your roads to get bonus points. So it makes it a lot harder to just build like straight roads wherever you want.
Yep.
Okay, so they are the 2 new additions of the games. But now we're going to get into the expansions that come with this.
I think this is the coolest art though, like in comparison to the other one.
Yeah,
this has got like a combi just driving through like the jungle. That's pretty neat.
All the fronts different?
I think they are.
All the fronts are different.
Hey,
oh wow,
that's cool. This one's got a combi. I think one of them's got a train.
That's pretty rad.
That's pretty cool. That's a nice little touch. Like they could have just had them all the same, and you wouldn't really notice or care. But that is nice.
All right. So beyond these 2 expansions, they start to get pretty ridiculous with the amount of things they added into this game.
All right. So you want the storage box now?
Yes.
All right. Put your rulebook away. Get it out of here. We'll have to read that later and find out what's going on in the rulebook.
Oh boy, I've got some reading to do.
I'm actually really curious. Do the images, like, do they connect? Are they meant to stack up? They are. They are, Billy.
They make one like panorama.
They want make one continuous panorama. I was like, why would they make them all different? There's got to be a reason for it. And they make like a continuous panorama.
That is actually really cool.
Yeah, I don't know which side this one needs to go on though. Maybe this side. I think. But that's pretty cool. Small touches. Small touches like that.
Oh, right.
Sorry, I like sidetracked a little bit there.
No, that was really cool. This is an interesting storage box. So it goes that way. You open it out like that. But then it's sideways, so you need to open it like that. It's pretty cool though. Oh wow, okay.
No,
it's getting complicated.
This is a Rubik's Cube. It's a puzzle in itself how to open the box.
So these look like extra boards.
What sort of boards are they though?
That is what I'm curious about, because they have something that you will really like, I feel. Okay. These are just different color boards. Looks like you have one board for each expansion that has come out, is what they've done.
Yeah, they're like a cell shaded sort of thing.
Yeah, they're all
like very
same
basic,
thing, but not.
Well, I think these ones still connect. And then the yellow is going to connect to the green. And then I think
they've got one color for each edition of the game that has come out. So they're all the different colors of the editions that they have, plus the bonus expansion one.
And this one's talking about portals.
Yes. Spoiler alert, Lachlan. There are portals now.
Why you gotta be like this?
Enter the future. Okay,
cool.
So
is this like, this new one is a future expansion? Is that its theme?
Yes, so the purple is future expansion, but...
Oh, it has a big board!
You mentioned it before and I'm like, I wonder if he knows.
I didn't know. Obviously I didn't know.
There are now big boards to it.
Nice.
So if you feel like getting crazy...
Is this like a communal board? Like everyone works on this board?
Nope, you've got 4 of them.
Oh, wow, okay, cool.
So then all the things that have ever referenced central zones, you now have 3 of those on your boards.
That's cool.
And it looks like they've got, haven't read much into the big boards, but they've got pre-written sections. So that's obviously a city. And I imagine you get bonus points for collecting.
Also, like around the mountains here, like the roads have to go in a particular,
actually
like,
have to go through those ways. Let's find out if all the big boards are the same.
They are the same.
Looks like they are, yeah.
Well, I mean, because I think they're your player boards as opposed to like a communal board. So like you would have your board, I'd have my board, and they're going to be the same.
Oh.
They are double-sided, so there is one side that has. They're double-sided because there's one side that is like a blank.
It looks like
a blank side, and then the other side has this like mountains, and there's like a road that goes into a mountain city. Obviously, that's where the dwarves live.
Okay, so this side is actually smaller too. Let's count the sides. So this is 9 across, and the other ones are 11 across.
Billy,
Yeah.
I think they're the same, surely.
No, count it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4,
I just
5,
counted 8.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, no? 1.
You counted 8? What?
No, I counted 9, but then obviously you started counting again, and I missed it. I count good, right?
That is pretty rad.
That's cool. I'm really keen to play this.
Because, yeah, I remember playing the first edition, and after a few times, you're like, oh, this would be real cool with, like,
They just made it
2
bigger.
boards.
So that was...
Those back in.
That is the base board for the Future Expansion. Is it called the Future Expansion?
So it's called Railroad Expansions. So I believe these boards suit all of the expansions because you'll see here, Lachlan, they got a little crazy. So you have an underground expansion.
I see some cool things in that box. When he gets to it. What else have we got here?
We got quite a few expansions.
Electricity. That's cool. Oh, okay. So each one of these contains...
Yeah, so these all contain an extra 4 set of dice. So each edition of this game they've ever introduced, they release a set of 4 dice, and they are what makes the edition unique. Rather than just continuously releasing editions of the game, they were like, you know, expansion time. And they went ahead and released 7 new expansions.
All right, fair. Well, we're still going to open these boxes. Tom, can we just have some scissors? Now, kids, don't throw scissors.
Only throw scissors by the back.
I don't know if that's sound advice.
All right, cool. We're in. Guys,
We're in.
we're broken in.
All right.
Get rid of that rubbish out of here. So
And we also have underground.
I gotta open it first, Tom. I can't get in because it's got the little flappy tabs and they got stuck under the other flaps. So it's like a perpetual thing. Oh yeah, so you wanted me to like pour it out, right? And the reason that it won't pour out, the reason it doesn't pour out is they actually come in a little tray.
That was...
I'm sure like one of them will come out, like if you do shake it, then the whole tray will come out. But I thought by the shape of it that it would have been like there was going to be 6 dice in there, and the 6 dice were going to take up like a different section of it, and it would have been like a perfect fit. You would have opened them up, 6 dice would have come out, but no, they put it in a dice tray because who doesn't need more plastic?
All right.
But, oh, look at this. This is nice.
So,
They're like clear.
I've read into most of these expansions. And what's really cool about electricity is where is the symbol? You basically have to set up light poles alongside your roads, but then you also have to set up electricity to power all your light poles across your roads.
Yeah, so street lamps,
Yeah, street
and
then-
power grid dice.
So not only are you building railroads, you're having to power everything in your city too, which I think is going to be real cool. Out of all the expansions I've looked at, this is probably the one I'm most excited for.
The power one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
The
cool.
idea of powering your city as well seems real hard. Can confirm.
You can't do it, can you? You all laughed at me. That's just how it is. I'm going to put mine back in put this back in here. So how do you want them? Are they meant to be stored back in their
Oh, they're probably meant to be stored, but I really want to just stack up every dice that I encounter in here and see what they've done to
All
me.
right. Boxes to the side, dice to the right. Don't mix up the rules, Billy.
Underground expansion.
Oh, God.
I haven't looked at how this one works, and I'm terrified that we're actually building roads, railroads, and then underground parts beneath that and trying to connect it all still. That is going to break my brain. There's pipes. Oh, there's pipes.
Cool. This doesn't give us any guidance as to how any of the expansions work. Each dice box has its own rules pamphlet. So like a single A5 sheet of paper. Basically expand it out and have a look at the rules, and it's got the special rules for each dice, which makes sense. So then you could go through one at a time, which is pretty rad.
It's only appropriate that the next expansion we go to is the sky after you go to underground.
That's the complete opposite, Billy. That's the wrong direction.
No, it's the correct way to go. More rule book there's.
Thank you.
Oh, this is so much reading. It's gonna be great.
It's kind of like Christmas when you get your bonbons and you have to like break it, and then you end up with like your little joke inside. Except for it's a nice little rule book.
This is interesting. There is like, looks like there's weather to the sky. So you have snowflakes, thunderstorms. I'd love to know what that is.
That is clearly.
It's clearly the launch pad that gets you up into the sky.
I
could almost be correct. It almost wouldn't surprise me at this point.
Let's just have a little squiz in the rules, shall we?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what it says. You got weather dice. And then you've got airline dice. It's an airport. You're wrong.
It's an
airport.
I mean, it makes an airport
so much.
What launches you into the sky?
Yeah,
I mean,
see?
Yeah.
I was right.
Yeah. So you've got the weather dice. The other dice, it clearly states that the dotted lines, which are these dotted lines, are airway routes, and then the squares are airports.
That is awesome.
We'll see how they work. So it looks like you draw your line and it can go over the top of anything, but you'd have to have...
Oh, so it can go over other stuff.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I can just imagine him building like little cities in each corner and just connecting them by airport, and then all of a sudden your routes are collected.
Yeah, but, I mean, you still got to have your like airline route. Like your plane always has to go in the same direction or have a path to go on.
What do you think this expansion is, Lachlan?
Cyberpunk.
It's the engineer expansion.
I was close.
You were close.
I was close.
You were close. I mean, it is pretty damn cyberpunky compared to any of these dice.
Yeah.
One really cool thing that I know comes with this expansion is you can start to destroy your previous routes. The engineer expansion.
No, I think Cyberpunk was correct, in all honesty. That's what I was going with.
The Cyberpunk expansion?
That's it?
Yeah. So there's a renovation dice along with a special dice.
Nice.
So special dice has
sci-fi dice.
All of those intersections that are normally the special ones from Red Edition directly on the dice. You then have other dice that let you just crush the other places and renovate.
That's cool. But there's only one of those, so there's like 3 path ones. There's 3 path ones, and then there's one
renovation dice.
One renovation dice, and these are all the same style. So like with the other expansions, they've always got 2 different colors. So 2 dice of one type and 2 dice of another type. This one is different because it's got 3 in one, and they're all the same style. So this one's light blue on the black die.
So one thing I know about a few of these expansions is they don't just take their own part, they actually add on to the others. So from what I know, the engineer one you can add on to all your other expansions and play with just more dice and more options.
Nice.
And it gets a little chaotic.
Into the graveyard. There you go.
Into the graveyard.
Over to the other side.
Advice.
I'm going to put the rule books over here as well.
This is going to be a favorite one, Lachlan. Eldritch.
Nice. Love me some Eldritch horror.
Would it be an expansion without Eldritch everywhere? That damn box.
It doesn't.
Damn it.
This box is insane.
God damn it. All right.
I'm sorry. Even Tom thought that was a bad one.
Okay.
Oh boy. What great elders do we have in this?
Hell is here.
Yeah, what do we have here? Fill me in, Billy. Let me know. Are we going crazy?
This is one of the weird teleporter. There's tentacles now, Lachlan.
Of course there is. So there's portal dice and there's ritual dice.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the one thing I remember is that your tentacles go across all your roads and basically give you bonus points for all your roads and how long they are. It is
Pretty cool. They're all different colors as well. So they've got
Yeah,
like
each one is different, hey?
a light pink, a purple, a dark green, and then a light green. Which is, I'm curious. I cannot wait to play some of these expansions, and I feel like,
I think you mean all of the expansions at
At
same
once.
time. On Twitch
yeah,
TV.
probably.
Oh man, just looking at how many dice are piling up, I just imagine each round you're just like,
It's awful. Awful. I mean, I'm not sure entirely that's how it works, but
I have a feeling you probably can't play with all the expansions, but someone's gonna figure out a way.
yeah.
There's
I'm
no way
curious.
they haven't.
So we're going to do like a little series where we play a bunch of these.
Ooh,
So like we have like an actual playthrough of each different set of dice.
that's a great idea, and that just gives me more opportunities to play this game.
I mean, otherwise I don't feel like we'll ever get to play all of these expansions. We'll be like, we'll get around to it. We'll get around to it. But
Look,
this makes me excited.
technically you can play this game solo, so
Oh, well then you
looks
don't
like
even
I'm-
need us.
I'm gonna find a way to play every single expansion. All right.
This rubbish pit over here just gives me anxiety. I hate it. I hate it, Billy. Let's just hide it behind here and no one... Because everyone in the comments is going to be like, what is going on over there?
Go where?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing to see here.
So now we have the Futuristic Expansion.
Oh, okay. Well, then this is the sci-fi dice.
That's true. This is
There's aliens! You got little saucers! Oh, that's
sure
amazing.
do.
Oh, and then you got little milk bottles. They're not milk bottles at all. They're actually skyscrapers.
Why did you call that a milk bottle?
Because they look like I saw.
What do you
I saw this and it was like, there's one, and it looks like a milk bottle. Come
milk
on.
bottles and aliens. That was your combo here?
I mean, they abduct. Look, there's sheep. All right, there's little sheep.
Surely we
And-
abduct sheep.
I mean, you abduct cows for their milk.
You.
That's cool. And there's another one that's got like 3 in 1.
3 in 1, yeah. That is
Interesting. Cool.
All right. This is one of the coolest sounding expansions.
Is it the
The
anime?
arcade expansion. The anime expansion. No.
It was pink and I didn't see what the title said.
All right.
Right, over there, into the dice graveyard.
Have a look at those dice, Lachlan.
Alrighty. This makes no sense.
Are you sure?
Don't really know what I've got here.
You have a Pluckman die.
I was gonna say, we have legally distinct Pluckman.
Pluckman. You have Tetromino die, and
Oh yeah, here we go. Legally distinct Tetronimo.
there's 2 rule books for this one. You then have a rainbow die.
Oh yep, here it is.
Just rainbows, clouds, clovers.
Nice.
And you have
nice.
a Galactic Invaders die.
Nice. More Spalians. Space aliens, for those who didn't know what Spalians were.
Aliens.
Yeah.
More to the pile.
Oh, Billy. Billy, you can pack this up. I'm not packing this up. This is all you. You chose.
Alright.
You chose this.
So this isn't actually all, Lachlan. We got more in here. We got more.
What do you mean?
They really fit as much as they could into this.
Oh, okay. So there's no more dice.
There is no more die,
Okay,
but
cool.
they have added a ton of special goals, colored markers, just because now I can be blue.
Ah, cool. So this makes more sense. So I think these are blueprints because on the back of this rulebook for the expansions, they had a blueprints page. And I was like, I have not seen any blueprints or blueprint cards anywhere. I don't understand. That's cool.
Sydney.
Oh no! What have they done to us? Sydney. Tom, can you please Google that spelling to see if it is actually a place that is...
Oh, man. Did they? Did they do us like that?
Did they do it?
There's New Delhi, Athens,
Rome. Oh, I think...
Paris, Madrid,
I'm thinking that Sydney has been done dirty.
Istanbul, Cairo. No one else has spelling errors. They got us.
Even Baltimore.
They got us.
And Hollywood. So they're double-sided. So there's different, like, there's Milan on the back of Sydney. Hollywood, and then Baltimore, Istanbul, with Constantinople on the back. No, just kidding, it's Tokyo. Athens, New Delhi, Monaco.
So there are places called Sydney.
Yeah.
None of them are big.
Yeah, but
Like, I think that is legitimately meant to be, like, Sydney, Australia. Or Sydney, New South Wales.
it was the first one I looked at, and I thought they were about to continue the joke they've been having where they spell everything slightly wrong. Nah, just us here in Australia.
Wow.
And it looks like all of these tiles are cities. So they've got like PA, PB, PC, VA. And it looks like they all have
A corresponding, like,
corresponding
abbreviation.
sections, yeah.
It was cool. Dig it. Except for Sydney, though. It kind of reminds me of Mini Metro, which is also a fantastic game.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That is actually...
A fantastic game.
Ooh.
So is that it?
That... Look. I'll double check, because who knows? That's it. That's all this box had.
Amazing. So we've got 2 new games. Railroad Inc. Shining Yellow Edition. And then we've got Lush Green Edition, which all add their own take and have their own special rules for it. We've got the Railroad Inc. expansions, because there was too many expansions, they didn't actually know what to call it, which gave us a ton of new dice. And they're really cool. And they all have their own rules to go with them. So there's plenty of Railroad Inc. to be had from here on out.
Oh, God.
They also gave us extra big boards. Blueprints sound cool. I'm really keen to play the big version, because that was the one thing that was like, it'd be really cool if they had a big board. And then you was like, well, guess what? They have a big board.
They sure do.
I wasn't expecting that. So that was really cool. I'm interested to see how these blueprints work. I'm really keen to try some of these other small expansions. And I'm really looking forward to you packing it away, Billy, because you were the one that decided that this was how it was going to be. So
I wanted to see how many dice they got me with, because, oh man.
Here it is, the money shot. Roll them.
Can I even pick them all up at once?
Can you? They're chunky dice. This is... What are you doing? Do you need help? Are we playing, like, stack them up?
Yeah, this is how you play all expansions at once.
Yahtzee!
Geronimo!
Awesome.
Man, I'm just so excited to play all these different expansions. If any of you have played some of these expansions and have ones you think are better, please let us know, because God, there's so many to play.
There's a fair few. I think we've, like, been over-encumbered with dice and Railroad Inc. But I'm super keen to play it. I'm pretty sure we're going to play some of this over at twitch.tv/Nerds of the West. So come join us and throw in your suggestions. There's a heap of expansions, so I'm sure that we're going to play 2 or 3 rounds with different expansions, different versions. Which version are you most excited to play?
Electricity.
Okay,
Definitely.
fair
Yeah.
enough. I'm going to go with either Eldritch or Aliens,
Aliens.
which was the Futuristic?
Yeah, futuristic.
The Futuristic Expansion. So yeah, super keen. Heaps of railroading coming your way. I've been Lachlan, this is Billy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff, and ring-a-ling the ding-a-ling. And I will catch you over at twitch.tv/Nerds of the West.